a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as— Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one. All right, that should do it for now. But I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the abyss like you.
She's always been special like that. She can even purify its power.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely—
Of course. I still have patience to see—
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We just give it time. I'm sure—
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion.
Mualani told us a little bit about—
500 years ago, all the nations of— Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so the battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disaster, and still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss— The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated immediately after the war. Our calculations estimated that we would have a max— But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our civilization was dying. Our faith— If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even— So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each—
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave— Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is—
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been— A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss if the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance. The Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of— Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wyab would select a hero. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation.
So that means—
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come—
So in other words, you always knew—
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel— Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring—
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not— If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence— So, I've tried my best to help. Currently, Shalonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wyab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes— That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me—
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing, just like your determination to save Kachina. I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes—
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hint. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because Natlan's salvation lies not in its archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you?
Huh? Oh, right! Oh!
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan after all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here—
Fuel?
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from on their own. Each item's power is limited. But together, by burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant.
But aren't they all precious treasure? That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, and then it would only be a matter of time before the children— Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the pyro archon of their time, if they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would—
Even when you put it that way—
There's no need. The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to— If you still have regrets, let them— Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like—
Well, we'd still like to return the—
Well, if that's the case, now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your— And we could all use the rest, that's for sure.
Still—
Try not to let it get to you. It's all right. You
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to— They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. I've witnessed their energy, their determination. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my— I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand. The Abyss is a cunning enemy. One that I faced in battle many. My rage will never know absolution. And my power. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now?
You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is her. We will do everything we can to rebuild even across time. We will all do.
Yeah, Mom's right. Oh, seriously though, Dad?
I imagine he didn't know what to say. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone. The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight.
Who will be the one?
We are the inheritors of memory, those who grew alongside sun and wind, those who forged our own destiny and that is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here. No, it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the...
Ah, well, you two
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip.
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave...
That's good.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but...
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still...
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it worked anyway. I'm just glad you were able...
What? Do you really have to go that...
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially... I appreciate the understanding and don't... Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their argument? In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone.
I always knew you could do it, with so much potential.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon.
I had no choice. My friend...
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just...
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone...
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to...
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through.
So, what?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition.
Serves you all right. No
Alright. There's no need to be like that. Dear friends, firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great archon for this traveler and her companion Paimon are some of the strongest people. They've agreed to let me learn from them. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Dayan-san. They all helped the traveler, and they too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please...
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being...
To be honest, it's a bit...
Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion.
Hey, please don't make...
My apologies. I knew more than everything comes at a price, and most heroes aren't people if you cling too tightly to your goal. But in any case, I wonder how long before the two final heroes appear.
I've been through so much. Are you still feeling it? Nope, all better now. I bet you guys must be tired.
At previous victory feasts, you'd always find me in the crowd.
It does feel weird seeing you so out of sorts.
Is this another...
Well, Paimon agrees with the Traveler.
You're right. Enough doom and gloom.
It cost us a lot, but there'll be even tougher challenges coming our way in the days ahead. That includes you, Paimon.
It's rare to meet travelers as strong and brave anyway.
Oh, we actually ran into her on the way.
Yeah. I'm planning on visiting home myself in a few days. The Abyss has likely sensed your arrival in Natlan by now.
All right, don't be. Come.
You're here.
How did you know?
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away, because they had the thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to... Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun. I couldn't make them shoulder that. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. Or, of course, without me. But since...
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room.
Yes, it was. So when you asked me from what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with the reason she played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and Still, it was an impressive achievement. You feel lost keenly. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already... The people of Natlan look to me as their archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear.
Yeah, doesn't that mean...
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many... Even if the future ends in destruction, and it's precisely because we humans cannot... This is a pivotal moment. Well, 3, to be precise. There's one further here. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support...
Ancient names can be...
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be... Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your story... The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still... Take this as my just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at...
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but...
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much time, and you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Oh, something else you'd like to— Well, our intel suggests he hasn't made any new movements yet. Although Kenichi's investigation helped us— I'm getting closer to narrowing down who that may be, but it's still unclear whether this person aided the captain out of willingness. If you learn anything about this during your adventures, please— something else. The Abyss is the most formidable enemy in all of Teyvat. In the beginning, it took failure. All of the methods you've seen in other nations were developed based on experience and insight past. It's the same for the method we use here in Natlan. Ever since As for the principles behind it, I'm afraid you might have to seek answers from— something else you'd like to ask? That also comes down to the long-standing effects of the Abyss. Our people's survival is but their power has its limits. They cannot offer our people the same degree of protection outside our borders. In fact, people who do decide to leave often suffer from memory loss. Everyone in Natlan understands this. That's why our people never leave without and the Wyab have always been very strict about granting that approval. Since extending protection beyond our borders, still, there's no need to worry. The Wyab extend their something else you'd like to—